okay, about it. I don't care. I just don't care. But just allow people to be free. That's the way it has to be. That's what's coming. We need to get ready for the world of tomorrow. And the world of tomorrow, we're going to be free. Money can't have any role in that world. There can't be any form of it at all. And there can't be people there that love that advantage. So we've got to repent for that. So we're all money lovers. So you start from that standpoint, and we need to stop being money lovers. We got to say, if God's way or the highway, man. That's all. If God wants that, we got to go that direction. We got to gradually make money less and less relevant. But that's the opposite direction of what the evil men want. They don't want you more free. They don't want you more secure, more out of fear. No, 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 no. They want to push this envelope as far as they can, kick this can as far as they can. They want to squeeze that damn turnip dry, man. Third, fourth world status, they don't care. They'll wreck up the joint, man, move somewhere else. Their ivory towers, they don't care. They have their own private security, own police force, own military. They don't care what happens to humanity. So it's only God that's going to help to extricate us from the maws of these people. And we've got to be smarter than them, see through all their lies and BS and propaganda, okay, even through omission, the way that stuff we're not informed about. They don't want you educated, because if you're educated, you're what? You're empowered. You're knowledgeable. You're not so easily duped and taken advantage of. And then you might be like me and spread the word and be a big mouth and talk to anybody that'll listen, speak truth to power, and everybody else in between. Because we're stuck on this ship of fools together. We're all stuck on that bus with that demon-possessed psychotic bus driver drunk on the blood of saints, and he's drinking more of it. Okay, and he's saying the answer is just to go headlong into that and take all of you with me. That's the bandwagon. You guys are the smart, practical, pragmatic ones that go along with the bus driver. Just don't listen to their negative, because they're jealous, because you're wealthy and you have, and they covet what you have. So they project all this stuff, and it's like, no, it's not true. No, I don't care about your billions. I don't know what I do with it. I've got too much already. I'm ashamed of what I have. Better men and women than me are suffering needlessly, sometimes dying out in the cold. Not criminals. For God's sake, if they were criminals, society would be willing to pay at least $70,000 a year to keep them in jail for 3 hots and a cot, free rent, free utilities, free medical, help reintegrating when they get released. But these are just indigents. These people are, they're riffraff. No soup for you. I mean, they're short of saying, let's get a concentration camp. That's the implication through the neglect. But bring your animals in. It's too cold. And you think that God's hand of protection should remain on America, when this is how we're treating our fellow human beings. And we're the ones responsible. Who else is responsible? We're the human beings in charge. The government, who the hell is the government? It's we the people, not we some of the people. You understand? I mean, this is crazy, man. We're in this thing together. We got to understand the issue. We got to understand what is the root of all evil. Not some of the evil, all of the evil. It's the love of money. And we all have it. God understands. There's no hiding that truth. So we can lie to ourselves, and we can lie to others. We could deceive ourselves. We could deceive others. We could be deluded ourselves and delude others. Or we could turn to God and say, God, help me out of this muck and mire. This is sick. This is sick. We got to get off the junk. We're all freaking mainlining this stuff we call money. We're all freaked out and stressed out. Got all this burden and fear. Suicides up, all this crap. These people have run their course. In their wet dreams, it'd be another bloody revolution, like history has shown us over and over again. When they push too hard, they create too much of a wealth imbalance. They create too much poverty. They create too much hardship and burden on people. They've always, like the snot-nosed, spoiled brat kids in the candy store, they can't resist it. You let me have a little, I'll take it all. You give me an inch, I'll take a mile. I'm insatiable. And that's it. They're out of control, drunk on the blood of saints, like the bus driver, and just careening down the road to destruction. And got you convinced that this is the right approach. It's the only answer. Keynesianism, print more money, keep watering down the money. We're not watering it down fast enough. Get another spigot going here. That's the answer. So, how many people in your family need to be poverty stricken and really having a hard time making ends meet? Or somebody you know? I'm done. I'm not tolerating it. I'm not accepting it. That's why I speak out. I've got to. I've got to be on record. I've got to try to influence the influencers. I don't have any power. I don't want any power. But there's people in positions of power that can really help. And they got to understand, I'm their friend. I'm not their enemy. I don't blame anybody locally, not even up to the governor. And I don't even blame the president. This is happening behind closed doors, shadowy rooms with occultists. A lot of them are overt Luciferians. At the end of the day, when you look into it, remember JFK's speech when he was so outraged about the Illuminati types? I don't know what he used, but you could probably find this speech on YouTube where JFK is denouncing the secret societies and talking about how repugnant it is to the American people. You think these people that had, those are the people that want the Federal Reserve to be in control and to do what they've done to impoverish the people and have this huge national debt, this wealth imbalance, and everything. I mean, for a lot of people, they're riding high, man. A couple $1,000,000 in the stock market, they think they got it going on. But are their hearts and minds right with God? You see, that's the most important thing. Are we rich toward the world but poor toward God? And those higher, loftier values, the ones He wants to imbue within us so that we stand up for each other and we just live like a family, please Him, and find happiness. I mean, at the end of the day, altruism and selfishness intersect. They do, inevitably. It's just the way God is, like a default system. Oh, you want to be happy? Yeah, I know what that means. I mean, you ask anybody that knew me when I was younger, I was always vital. I mean, I was excited and, oh, going surfing here, man, my friend, let's go down to Baja. Oh, we're four-wheeling, let's go to Maui. And, oh, yeah, we're having so much fun. And it was so much fun, and it was joyful, And those are the good old days, and I feel sorry for teenagers today. They don't have that. I mean, it was a lot cheaper. The cost of living was a lot cheaper, man, when I was a teenager. And it's just, God almighty, I can't imagine how miserable it must be. What hardship for a teenager. I mean, it's just too hard, man. I mean, I was emancipated. My mom and I agreed she gave me the house. We had rented a duplex, and so I was shooed right into this little rental duplex right next to the beach in Santa Cruz to get $200 a month. We're going back to about 1975, 76, about 77, I think it probably is when it came to an end with too many parties, keg parties and stuff at the house. But yeah, Jeff and I did a lot. Good friend. To this day, we give each other shirts off our back, and just beautiful guy, good for real. Really like Jeff a lot, and I hope to see him again. But friends, we got to understand we're in this mess together, and the only way we can get out of it and to find happiness is together. That's it. So it's caring about each other. We got to get the cost of living down. Rents have to come down. It has to start a chain reaction in the opposite direction. So in other words, instead of our money going down in worth perpetually, which is really bad, it's sort of like an insecurity dial, like financial insecurity, and it just keeps getting turned up selectively for some people, for segments, swaths of society. People in different industries are picked on, discriminated against. Okay? There's bias, distinct bias. And it's immoral, it's wrong. And all the federal minimum wage workers are in that camp. And this has been very balkanizing in America. See, if you just let cities and states or whatever set their own minimum wage, no, you're balkanized. Then everything gets more confused and muddied up. So, I mean, these people are evil genius. A juggernaut of pure evil genius is what we're up against. And we need God's help. It's the only answer, the only solution is to turn to God and say, God, you got fundamentally, there are solutions there, and they're simple and plentiful. If you turn to God, they're in our face, and you go, but they don't want it. That's what you're up against. That's the juggernaut. That's the juggernaut of obstacle of pure evil genius that we're up against, is that they don't want it. They don't want the problems in our society solved. All the crime and crap, the desperate poverty that drives so much of the crime, they don't want that. That gives them relevance. It's sick. I'm telling you, it's sicker than I could ever imagine. We've got to all internalize that and realize that it's evil. We're a fallen nation. And we've let down the rest of the world by extension because we've been the most influential nation for a long time. People are looking to us. So it's our patriotic duty, our godly duty to one another to straighten this mess out. Okay, so let's end the desperate poverty. For God's sake, I mean, I'll shut the hell up about immigration, let everybody in, but we got to help people where they live. People don't want to flee their native countries, do you? Do you want to uproot yourself right now from all that you've known, all that's been familiar to you? So I don't hate these people that want to come to America. I am totally great. Let them all come in. But for God's sake, let's do it in orderly fashion. Let's care for our own native-born American sons and daughters. For God's sake, show a little humanity. You tell me to show humanity to the immigrants. Well, let's show humanity to our own native-born Americans first. Let's do this in an orderly fashion, where it's logical. It makes sense to me. Let's give a damn across the board. Let's at least do that. And don't play selective. I know how the Section 8 housing works, HUD and Housing Authority, all that crap. I got copies of those forms. I was doing research for my real estate class. I'm educated. I'm learned in this field. I know what's going on here. I know how guys like Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki make their fortunes. But contrary to the lies you've been taught, not everybody can be a landlord. Okay, it doesn't work that way. You get a flat in New York for $3,000 a month. You can't turn around. No girl's going to ever want to come and visit you. They stink like guys. And then, it's little tiny space, $33,000 a month. You got a minimum wage job at McDonald's. You think, I got to get Section 8. You go down, okay, well, they're going to pay, we'll pay $2,700 of this. Because that's a cost share. We figure all you can afford to pay is $300 on that minimum wage job you got. You understand what I mean about far down this rabbit hole toward hell? I mean, these people do not want it. Do you think that these people that are in these landlording positions, which, by the way, the majority of California residents are renting today, do you think they want you to be able to wriggle out from under their thumb? Do you think they want the housing get more affordable to purchase? If it does, they got to go out and purchase it. They got to take it off the market, put a demand on it, invest in it. You understand? Get all that fruit, that low-hanging fruit. Oh, low income? Oh, I really want that because that's a cheaper mortgage. You pay less. So they'll find ways. They'll find somebody, go in, a patsy. You go buy it for me and just say it's this and that, and then we'll change hands later. There's a lot of chicanery that can go on, a lot of shenanigans in these businesses. Okay, but don't believe anyone that tells you that it's a good thing that the value of housing has gone up. That's like telling you that it's good that the worth of your money went down. You see? But that's the stuff we've all been trained to accept. They wonder why there's cognitive dissonance and like disconnected from reality. The math isn't there. I mean, it's just blatantly false, but yet that's the kind of crap we buy. And anybody that argues with it, well, little bit doesn't understand really. Doesn't have a university degree in economics, so he's not one of the brown-nosed bootlicking suck-ups, sycophants that just go along with the system. This trajectory, this is right, everybody else is wrong. That would dispute it. No, this is good. This wealth and balance growing is good, kind of like Obama, one of those elitist types that thinks that. They're all blessed like they're gods, they think. They're saviors of the earth, save it from global warming. And then these are the ones that support spraying the sky and doing this geoengineering, weather modification, experimentation, whatever they want to call it, that's spraying the aluminum particles so that the sun, in theory, reflects it back up. But actually, the science shows that it warms the earth. So they're warming the earth. They're changing the climate on the earth artificially and fingering you and I and hiding in the shadows. Talk about occultists, Luciferians. That's who they are. That's how they operate. Subterfuge, in secret, hidden. Occult. Mean people. People that don't value their soul. I mean, by the you just look at their actions. How could they value their soul? And that's completely inconsistent. Because people that value their soul have boundaries. Say, yeah, I'm a sinner, and I'm ashamed of this behavior or that behavior. It doesn't feel right. It's certainly not ideal. I'm a sinner. I got to confess it because God already knows. There's no sense in not confessing my sin. He knows. Okay, but I've got boundaries. And no way would I do that. No way would I do that. And no way would I do this. But yet, you live in a world, a society, and the rules are foisted upon you, the policy by men that would do